The first thing I noticed when I woke up was the light. Not one light, three. 3 suns hung in the alien sky, arranged like a careful triangle, each a different hue. One burned white-hot, sharp and piercing. Another glowed amber, warm but heavy, as if it pressed against my thoughts. The third was smaller and redder, pulsing faintly like a living heart. My visor flickered as the environmental stabilizers struggled to compensate. The air was breathable technically but wrong. Thicker. Charged. Every breath tasted faintly metallic like a storm about to break. I was not supposed to be here. My name is Elias Ward, xenolinguist attached to the deep-range exploration vessel Aurora's Reach. Our mission had been simple: chart uninhabited systems beyond the mapped spiral, gather data, return home. But space has never cared much for human plans. A micrometeor storm shredded our navigation array, and the emergency jump scattered us like ashes. My escape pod malfunctioned mid-descent, and instead of splashing down on a lifeless rock, I crashed into the only inhabited world within reach. A 3-sun world. I stood slowly, muscles screaming, and took in the landscape. Crystalline plants rose from the ground like frozen flames, refracting the light into shifting rainbows. The ground beneath my boots was smooth and dark, almost glass-like, yet warm to the touch. Structures loomed in the distance. Elegant, spiraling towers grown rather than built, their surfaces alive with faint bioluminescent patterns. And then I realized I wasn't alone. They stood in a loose semicircle around me, silent and unmoving. Alien women, at least my mind insisted on that comparison. They were tall and willowy, their skin a spectrum of soft colors ranging from pearl white to deep indigo, each tone subtly shifting under the triple sunlight. Their eyes were large, luminous, and layered, like looking into shallow pools overlaid with stars. Their clothing flowed like liquid metal, adapting to their movements. None of them spoke. None of them approached. They simply watched me. Every instinct screamed danger, but they made no aggressive move. No weapons visible. No hostile posture. Just intense, unbroken curiosity. I raised my hands slowly, palms outward, the universal sign of non-threat. My translator implant hummed faintly but failed to lock onto any recognizable linguistic pattern. "I come in peace," I said anyway, my voice sounding small beneath the alien sky. A ripple moved through them, not sound but motion like a shared breath. One stepped forward. She was taller than the others, her skin a pale gold that reflected all 3 suns at once. Her eyes focused on my face, then my hands, then my chest, lingering over the insignia on my suit. She spoke. The sound was melodic, layered with harmonics my implant struggled to parse. After a moment, the translator spat out a rough approximation. Fragile. Singular. Unexpected. I swallowed. Yes, that's accurate. Another ripple passed through them. The golden-skinned one tilted her head. "You are alone." It wasn't a question. "I was separated from my people," I said. "I don't intend to cause harm." She studied me for a long moment, then extended a long, slender hand. The gesture was careful, deliberate. "We are the Ilari. This is Sorinth, world of 3 suns. You are the first of your kind to stand here. First contact." I had spent my entire career preparing for this moment in theory. Learning probability matrices, cultural models, first contact protocols. None of them prepared me for the reality of being the only human on an alien world, surrounded by beings who had never imagined my existence. They did not bind me. They did not confine me. They escorted me. Sorinth was unlike anything I'd ever seen. The city breathed literally. Walls shifted to allow light and airflow. Pathways subtly reshaped themselves beneath our feet. Everywhere we went, Ilari paused to look at me. Not with fear. Not with hostility. With fascination. Children, smaller, softer-featured Ilari, peeked from behind translucent pillars. Elders observed from elevated platforms, their expressions unreadable. I was a living anomaly walking through their civilization. I learned quickly that the Ilari were observers by nature. Their species had evolved under the unpredictable influence of three suns, each exerting gravitational and energetic effects that made stability a luxury. Survival had demanded patience, adaptation, and above all, study. They did not rush to judgment. They watched. I was given quarters grown from living crystal, temperature adjusted to my needs. Nutrient gels synthesized from local compounds kept me alive. Medical scans, non-invasive thankfully, were conducted while I slept. Always I was observed. Days or cycles rather passed. I spoke with scholars, scientists, and what passed for leaders. The golden-skinned woman returned often. Her name, as best I could translate it, was Salith. "You watch me as if I might disappear," I said once. Salith's eyes flickered. "You might." She explained that Sorintha's history included visitors, rare, transient lifeforms swept into their system by stellar anomalies. None had survived long. The Ilari had learned not to interfere, but also not to ignore. "You study me to decide if I'm a threat," I said. "No," she replied. "We study you to decide if you are a possibility." That unsettled me more than hostility would have. As weeks passed, I realized something else. The suns were changing. Their alignment was shifting faster than predicted, building toward a resonance event, a catastrophic convergence of radiation and gravitational stress that could destabilize the planet's core. The Ilari knew. They had always known. What happens when the alignment peaks? I asked Salith. She was silent for a long time. "We endure," she said finally. "Or we do not." Their technology was advanced but specialized, optimized for gradual change, not sudden catastrophe. My people, on the other hand, were masters of crisis engineering. Emergency solutions. Last-minute miracles. I offered what I could. Working with Ilari scientists, I adapted human resonance dampening algorithms, originally designed for starship shielding. We couldn't stop the alignment, but we could mitigate its impact, redirect energy, stabilize fault lines by time. They watched me work. Every calculation, every mistake, every success. Not once did they interfere. The alignment came like a scream of light. All three suns flared simultaneously, the sky fracturing into impossible colors. The ground trembled. Towers flexed and groaned. Energy surged through the planet's magnetic lattice. Our system held barely. When it was over, Sorinth still stood. The city glowed brighter than ever, alive with relief. The Ilari gathered in numbers I had never seen before. Salith stood before them, then turned to me. "You altered our future," she said. "Why?" I thought of Earth, of storms and wars and mistakes, of how fragile we were and how stubborn. "Because watching isn't always enough," I said. "Sometimes you have to act." Silence fell. Then slowly Salith bowed her head. "You came alone," she said. "You leave changed. As do we." They repaired my pod. Improved it even. Before I left, Salith placed a small crystalline device in my hand, a recorder storing centuries of Ilari observation data. "So your people may watch us," she said, "as we once watched you." As my pod lifted off, I looked back at the three-sun world, at the figures below, still watching. Not with curiosity anymore. With understanding. When I returned to human space, my report changed everything. First contact protocols were rewritten. Exploration doctrines revised. We were no longer just seekers. We were being seen. And sometimes, somewhere beneath unfamiliar suns, someone was watching, waiting to see who we chose to be next.